What does it look like for a type 6 to be on their path of growth? Today is all about that growth path, also known as the growth arrow, and that line of integration. You might have heard it any of those three ways. All of them are talking about the same thing. Where does the 6 go when healthy? That's what this video is all about today, and stay tuned because after I teach about what it looks like for a type 6 to be going down that path of growth, I'm also going to share 3 tips that will help you grow. If you're new here, I'm Hillary, your certified Enneagram life coach, and I love to teach you guys the Enneagram in the simplest and easiest way possible. Before we dive into today's video, if you don't mind pushing that like button, that is a great way to support my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with that growth path of the type 6. Where does the 6 go when growing? Well, they are moving towards the healthy side of that type 9. This means they're going to become more peaceful, more self-affirming. They will become more balanced in their instincts. 9s, they are in the gut triad, or also known as that body triad. And so what that brings to the 6, it helps a 6 to become grounded in their bodies and become more present in their bodies. When moving towards the type 9, that type 6 is going to begin to put priority on their own peace of mind. They're going to use the peaceful and calming qualities of that healthy side of the type 9 to help relieve the racing part of their mind, right? Their mind is a lot of times racing and going so quick. And so when they're going towards that healthy side of the 9, it helps to ease that and helps to calm them. It really helps a type 6 to learn to relax. And how do you do this as a type 6? How do you relax? I would say start by doing something that is super enjoyable and relaxing, something that you know calms you, something that you know brings you to a good place. And then do this for a lot longer than you normally would do it. If you are gonna read a book or go into nature and take a walk or anything like that, go shopping, anything that brings you calm and peace and joy, do it for a lot longer when you're in a place that you need to relax, when you know that you need to relax and calm down. Do something you love, do something you enjoy, do something that brings joy, and do it for a lot longer than you normally would so that those calming moments will teach your body to relax. And so that type 6 is going to have to choose to do this more. Give yourself permission to just be. Maybe it's going out into nature like I talked about and taking that walk or taking a hike or just going out and being outside. Just enjoying that peace that is surrounding you can be helpful. And so that's a little bit of what it can look like for a type 6 as they're moving to the healthy side of that type 9 on that growth path or growth arrow. Let's get into 3 growth tips that will help a 6 grow. The first one I would say is learn to trust yourself and the process of life. Sometimes not being certain of things, maybe within yourself or within, life or whatever that looks like, could give the 6 anxiety and fear. And I always tell 6s, the fact is, most of these fears don't ever come true. You might be currently stuck in this worst case scenario or bad situation or what if this happens place, and you keep replaying it in your mind over and over and over until you're exhausted. And a lot of times this is for no reason at all, right? You're going to relive maybe a conversation you should have had, or maybe a conversation you did have over and over and over and over. But for what? Usually nothing happens after that. Like I said, you just become really tired. Really, the thing I'd love to see a 6 do is honor their own strengths. Remember them, write them down, become aware of what your actual strengths are. I believe this will help you trust yourself. Some of the strengths of that type 6 are you do take times to do things the right way, the correct way. You take the time. That's a good strength that you have. You stand up for other people really well. My advice is also stand up for yourself. You are courageous. You are loyal. You are capable. You have integrity. All those things are who you are. Another big one is most 6s that I know are great in a crisis situation. Maybe it's because they've thought it through, all that worst case scenario thinking. I don't know. But a lot of times the 6, instead of being they're actually going to calm down and be able to be the go-to person in that crisis situation. So trust that you will know what to do. The second thing I want you to work on is to focus on what might go right, not wrong. Right. You have a lot of expertise in what might go wrong. I'd like to see you focus on what might go right. 6s tend to be those worst case scenario thinkers. What I'm saying, I'm not saying that's wrong, because, that is part of who you are, where you think things through and thoroughly. That's a good thing. All I'm saying is let's bring those into balance. Let's bring both, right? It's still okay to be thinking like, oh, where's the exit? What do I do if this happens? But I also want you to think of, what's went right? If you're on an airplane, and you're worried about it and you're thinking about anything that could happen, also think about how many airplanes every day land safely, how many pilots really do know what they're doing. Find that comfort and focusing on what might go right also. And so bringing those both into balance, I think, is super healthy for a type 6. Okay, the third growth tip that I have is practice being in the present moment. Look around you. What's good? What can you be grateful for? What can you hear, taste, smell? What can you see? Focus, grab onto that present moment. Especially if you're in a time where you're feeling anxious and worried, my advice is to practice stopping and focusing on that present moment. Not what can happen, not what the future holds, not about anything that way. Think about, where am I today? What's going on right now? Be present in that moment. Well, that's all I have today for that type 6, moving towards the growth arrow of the healthy side of the type 9. If you are a type 6, I hope this helped you. I hope this gave you some good ideas on what it looks like to be healthy, to be growing, to be really embracing who you are. I hate it when I hear types say, oh, I don't want to be the type that I am, because I'm like, whoa, we need to stop and find all the great things about you, all the giftings you have, and the reason why you are that personality and what you bring to the world. And so that's what I hope I did today. I hope I showed you another side of being a type 6 and how amazing they are. If you are a type 6, let me know in the comments below. Let me know, did this help you? Which one of these growth tips really stood out to you, and which one could you really use? And if you aren't a type 6, thank you for watching this, because you guys know I think it's just as important to learn about ourselves as it is to learn about other people. I'm so proud of people that not only take the time to learn about themselves, but the time to learn about the loved ones in their life, the people in their life, the people that they work with, so that they can have more grace and understanding and love for each other. But before I end, you guys know I never like to end these without letting you know that if you've gotten to this point and you still aren't sure about your Enneagram type, I do offer a Discovering You typing session. It's a 1-hour Zoom call with me. All that information is down below in that description box, but that's all I have for today, guys. Until next time, bye guys.